Tonight on That's Dark. The Conjuring House. Is it haunted or merely a big movie production? Follow us as we uncover the truth from the tales and the tales from the truth. Hey, hey, it's Melissa and Heather.
Yes. Now, again, I'm going to start this off the way I did with the last episode. If you have followed us since our previous podcast, The Witching Hour, you will know we have already covered the Conjuring House. But we want to redo it because we want to add some things to it. And I feel like we could do it more justice.
I feel like that's what's cool about like kind of redoing our thing is because we can take like some of the ones we've done before that we wanted to add more, we wanted to redo, and we can redo it.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
It was awesome.
I think this is so similar to the Titanic, where immediately after we finished that one, years ago, we were like, I want to add more to it. And so now this is another one of those topics where I could literally talk about this house and Andrea Perron specifically forever. Like, I love her. I love her so much. And yeah.
You know who else I love so much? Paris Hilton.
Oh my God, yes.
I love her.
She is just, I love her so much.
She really is a genius, and I've been watching her Paris in Love on Peacock, and like it just made me like her so much, and I feel awful for her because she has so much anxiety and she's had so much happen to her, and like but she always feels like, and she talks about how like when she's nervous or she puts on her persona, which her voice goes higher. And it's just, I honestly recommend everyone watching that show if you really don't understand who Paris is, because she definitely lets everybody in on that show. So
I love her. Have you seen that video of her where it's like her, because you know how she has like a really deep voice naturally, like she just kind of sounds deep.
Yeah.
But the best is like, I don't know if you've seen that video where she's like getting out of a car, I think, and she's talking in her normal voice. And then the second she sees paparazzi, she was like, hi.
That's hot.
But I like, huge difference.
Well, she says it's her persona. She just automatically will go. And I just love the fact that her favorite restaurant is Taco Bell.
Okay, she's my favorite now.
That's her number one. Right. When they ask her, like, what's your favorite? She's like, Taco Bell. And it's just the best thing ever. I was like, God, that's so real.
So, you know, so not.
Yeah. So right now there's like 2 seasons, and you get to follow her fall in love, and then you get to see her have her first child, you know, who was an experience. Like, and you get to see, like, everyone's like, oh, you know, she has a nanny. I'm like, look, she lives in a different world than any of us does, like, at all. Like, she's completely in a different world. And I just want to put this out here because we have a platform that she chose to do surrogacy, not because of her body. She said she would have loved to carry a baby because she wanted complete privacy for her child to come into this world. And she knew if she was pregnant, it would just all be tabloids and paparazzi. And so for her, she wanted this one thing to just be her and Carter's. And so she didn't even see the surrogate the whole time.
That's crazy.
Because she wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
She was
all that drama, all anxiety is like kept far away.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I know.
But also I want to add, honestly, like if you have the money and the means to do that, if you just simply don't want to do it because your body, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. I think that's so dumb for people to judge that. And like,
it's like, you know, all of us, if we had the means and money, I think most people, like obviously not everybody, because some people have really great pregnancies, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like those people, obviously not, but like I think a lot of people would be like, I'll skip all of that if I could.
And I hear people like, oh, but she won't bond. Well, there's lots of people that have their babies that still don't bond when they first come out. Like, there's nothing different there than. So I just think it was, I saw her and I could just see that for her, this was something that she's just had so much, as any star has, you know. And everyone would be like, oh, boo-hoo, she's so rich. Like, but if you see her, it's like, she's still a person. I do think I love these shows because it's like, you're still a person.
Absolutely. And you still have struggles, even if you're like wealthy, there's still struggles.
Yeah.
You know, you just have different struggles.
Have you caught up on Love is Blind?
I have not.
Oh my, okay. Next one, because I've
been watching Halo, because
I have to talk. You need to catch up. You remember how last season was a big old hot mess? Holy crap, this season is a big
I feel like it's gonna be bigger. And you know what made me so upset? Because I was like going into it, I was like, ooh, this is gonna be so good. Because remember Chelsea and Kwame?
Yep.
Because she's like in charge of getting the talent. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be so good. So far from what I've only seen 3 episodes. But from what I've seen, I'm like, this is gonna be a train wreck.
Oh, it's a train wreck and a half. Like, I hate to say it, but Chelsea, are you even screening these people? I'm just gonna put it out there because it's not even, it's not, dude, it's just insane that I just like have to talk to everyone about it because I'm like, what? Like when I'm seeing it, I'm like, are you kidding me? Even the one guy that I was like, oh, he's so good. I love him so much. It's not that he's not. It's that he's not. It's that he's.
Is it Trevor? I knew it. The second I knew everyone was obsessed with him, like,
no, it's. Yeah, has a. She knew, but she knew. He was texting her the whole time. Yeah, it's for clout. She knew. He was literally texting her the whole time, and so he was like, "But you know, I love you, and you know, I just have to, yeah."
So I guess. Well, I feel like either way, whichever choice Chelsea made would have been bad.
I'm sorry. I don't think.
Sorry,
I don't think
Jordy
is bad.
But
Jimmy, it looks like a gourd. I will say that, but he looks like he looks like Bobby from King of the Hill.
I see that.
Yeah, but he's not a bad guy. When you see him, he has 2 girls that are best friends, and I think they've really dragged him through the goals, and maybe some more stuff is going to come out that I'm going to be like, eating my words right now.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen so far, I just think, he's not a bad guy, and he's trying to maneuver this situation. You'll just continue watching, and then we'll get back. We'll get back. We probably
I don't think anyone will ever beat Brit. Not Brit.
No. Bliss.
Well, them too. Zach and Bliss is so. I love them.
I love.
But oh my God, Brett and Tiffany.
Woo! I love it.
Oh my God.
Or the OGs that are still married, Cameron and what was her name? Oh shit, I follow them even.
I don't even know.
Some people, they've made it and it's great, but wait, they were definitely on there. I'm trying to think. I'm like,
I don't even remember.
I followed Bliss and Zach because they're pregnant and it's so
they are cute.
And I'm like, that's for not choosing the weird guy girls.
Yep.
Because
they're not weird.
Yes.
They're the best.
Yes. They're the best. Like, don't look over the weirdo.
Absolutely.
At least weirdo in the way he was. It was great.
I want to talk about Matthew. What the hell was that?
America's watching.
What?
America's watching.
What is he talking about?
Oh, he is now going on a rant, and he's saying that he's going to call this show out because they edited it really bad, and that's not him, and it was all bad editing. And
well, honestly, I could believe that, but it's like because that's what they do. That's what reality shows
still told 2 girls,
but exactly
the exact same thing,
right?
So
I want. What is he talking about? Like something happened.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is.
And they edited it out. That's what I think.
But America's watching. What does he mean? I need to know.
I feel like he said America's rooting for him, too.
America's rooting for an underdog. He said America loves an underdog, which, yes.
True.
But what happened? We're missing something. I need to know.
That's the perfect underdog. Not him. Not Matthew.
But also, and again, I'm not discrediting that. I'm sure they edit things to make things look way worse than they were. Yeah. I'm sure they edit things like to make it seem like way crazier. But the way he interacted with the men in the house, he just straight up ignored them.
He said it's because he did this whole thing sober because he doesn't drink.
That's it. What does that have to do with anything? You can say thank you. Like when the guy hands a book to him.
I know. He's just like,
and again, it could be
in a car. It's close to me, as I feel like. But then he's all going and telling girls the same damn thing.
And I remember that conversation because he was like, I think it was oh my God, what's her name? I really like the girl he was talking to.
AD?
Yes,
I love it.
He was talking to her. And he was like, oh, you're going to tell the girls, like, conversation? And hindsight, I'm like, he was, like, saying that because he's like, oh, is she going to talk?
Yeah.
Going to talk?
Yep. Yep.
And then he's like gonna go get the girl who left, Amber. Was that?
Yeah, he was.
He's like, I'm gonna go get Amber.
I'm gonna go get him.
When he was gonna pick AD.
He's like, well, cut my losses. I'm gonna go get her.
I was so.
I think it, honestly, what I think it is I think he was still trying to have a story in there because remember, Zach got to Bliss after. So I think these guys are thinking like, oh, this is going to work out. I'm going to go ahead and go for the other one that I was going for, like I really do. But the difference is that Zach was treated horribly and he just wanted to go see Bliss because he realized he made the wrong decision. And they're married because he's a really good person. But I just want to go and say Zach was treated horribly.
I still can't get over.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. I know. But I know I could go.
I was gonna say, okay, we should
but leave your guys' comments on Love is Blind.
Oh my God.
This season, please, because it's just
yes.
I'm like, ha.
Yeah, it's some drama so far from what I've seen.
Drama.
I don't think there's any. I don't like anybody. So far, there's not anybody that I like that I really like.
I like AD. I stayed liking her.
Okay, that's true.
I don't love her, but I've stayed liking her. Jimmy, I feel sorry for her right now. That's where I'm at with Jimmy right now. I feel I'm waiting for the next episodes. So I feel sorry for him. Chelsea is a batshit crazy in the head.
She's the one that says she looks like a Megan.
Someone's
beautiful.
She's beautiful, but she does look like she could be Jay Leno's daughter.
I could see that.
Yeah. Someone said that, and I was like, oh.
I could see that.
But it doesn't mean that makes her ugly.
No, I think she's pretty.
Yeah, she's got so many insecurities, but it just gets worse and worse.
Man.
And then Clay, he won't stop talking.
He's something else. So I think one guy that at least from what I've seen, the one that I have the best feeling about is the guy with the glasses who you don't see him. Oh, man, are you serious? Even he's bad?
Jeremy?
I don't remember his name.
His name is Jeremy.
He's like more nerdy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
That is a persona.
Oh, no.
And he's one of the worst.
Oh. Well. Okay.
Buckle up, Alyssa. You don't know the ride you're going to be going on here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. All right.
Okay, well,
okay.
Let's get right into the content.
I just want to say really fast that after reading everything I'm going to talk about, I think the Conjuring House, I just wish it could have a different name. Just because I feel like that's just from that movie. And the movie is very, not very scary, but it's a scary situation. But I don't believe that is the true persona of the house underground.
I agree.
I just want to put that in there.
I totally agree. And I'm completely blanking. I have it in my notes what the name of the book is that Andrea wrote, but I love the name she had. It'll come about. So we can talk about I feel like that would be a cool, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. So I want to first talk about the land a little bit. I just have a little short blurb about it. So the land precedes its colonial records by thousands of years while it was occupied by the Nipmuc. I can't pronounce that. I'm so sorry. And other local tribes before Roger Williams purchased the land. So again, I think it brings back to so much hauntings. Haunted land is always Native American.
Absolutely.
Land. Always. And I find that interesting. So I don't
have to review the Bell Witch. I just thought about it.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's more on that too.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Diverting. No.
Yeah.
Not diverting.
I honestly couldn't name of this podcast.
Diversion.
That's
Squirrel.
Squirrel. That's perfect. All right, so now I'm going to get into Andrea Perron, and she was the oldest sibling that lived in the house. She's the famous family that lived in the house. Love her so much. So she wrote 3 books, and although everyone in the family helped recount what happened, Carolyn, who's the mom, is the only one who has read every single book that she's written. Andrea actually gifted one of her sisters a copy of the first one, and after she got 60 pages in, she handed it back to her and said, "I am so sorry, I can't read this," because it was just too real. It was too much for her to too painful for her to relive, essentially.
Wow.
In an interview, Andrea did in an interview that Andrea did, she said the only place to find what really happened is in the books. It's not online. There's and there are even things she left out because they were so profound, she just can't relive it. The only thing...
Sorry, that's 100%, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because after my doing research on stuff, I was like 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The only thing she said about them was, let's just say, there were 5 of us girls and 1 really bad male spirit in the house. And she's an open book about what happened, so I truly believe that, you know, it must be something really profound that occurred, or else she would be talking about it. It's probably insane.
Oh my God, like you said, 1 male spirit.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bad one. Like, that was the bad.
Interesting, though.
Yeah. I know. That's why I was like, oh, you were just talking about the 1 spirit. So they moved when Andrea was 12. And she moved out when she was 21. And she is 64 now and still has encounters.
She was there from 12 to 21. That's
Right.
a pretty significant time.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Sorry. And that's also like when like she's like coming, I want to say coming of age because that sounds like I'm in the 1800s. She's coming of age. She's marrying.
But, I mean, kind of, yeah. Like that.
But she's
the
like
age that...
hormonal changes. Like a lot of things are going on during. That's a pretty significant time.
Yeah. But anyway, like with how she's older now because I wrote these notes a while ago, but she's in her mid-60s,
Mm-hmm.
and she still has like encounters with spirits ever since living in that house. So that's how much it's really opened.
I think maybe it might have woke something.
That's why I said I think it opened something in her. She had.
Yeah, I think that maybe she's
It's so
sensitive
clear to me. Oh my God, it's so clear. When you like hear her talk about anything, like, also I want to read the books. I've been saying that for so long, but I'm not a reader. Like, that's
Can you get them on Audible?
That's what I want to try to find, but I don't know. I haven't checked to see if they have them because I don't know. I mean, if I'm really interested in it, I can pay attention. So I'm hoping I would be. I wish I was.
My books that I've been reading.
God, I wish I could. I sound stupid. I wish I could read. Like, I
want to read.
I don't comprehend. My brain doesn't shut off.
Even with things you love. So I can't comprehend if I'm not interested. Like I have to read it over and over like a textbook.
Yes. But even things that I'm really interested in.
So crazy.
Yeah. Like my psychology book is one of the only books I've ever finished through and through. And I had to reread things many, many, many times to get it.
If I'm interested, I read it. If I'm not interested, I like wait, what did I just read? And I go back over again and again. So
it's dumb. I wish I could not be that way. So the way she put it was in her 3rd book, in her opinion, is the most compelling, and it exposes what can happen when that door is open to spirits. It's a door that can never be closed.
Yeah.
And she's so right. So right. And if anybody who has encountered the spirit realm at some point.
But you learn how to maneuver it, and you learn to live with it, and you learn to be like, okay, it's life kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Her mother said that when they were leaving the home, we can leave the farm, but the farm will never leave us. And that like gave me chills when I was like listening to it, as I'm just like,
that's like way better than any scene in the movie.
It is.
But that's right there. That just makes you go, ooh, yes.
When she went back during Halloween of 2021, they were shooting a Halloween special in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea said their presence was remembered, but the spirits were not happy about all of the cameras.
Mm.
There were cameras in every room, she said. And when they lived in the house, there was a spirit in particular who took a liking to her father. And she had made full contact with him. And they actually believed her to be Mrs. John Arnold, who had lived in the house like long time ago. But when he was there, when they were shooting the Halloween special in 2021, he went down to the cellar where he would typically see her, and he said he felt nothing.
Oh, yeah. Was not there.
No, didn't want.
No, thank you. You're coming in my house and doing all. And I it's interesting because I kind of see that more than spirits acting up and being like, oh, they kind of like, no, I'm out. Like,
right.
I'm gonna stay here while you disrespect my space.
Yes, 100%. So she also said that during the Halloween special that One of the producers said to her that they should recreate the seance scene that happened in real life that almost killed her mother.
Okay.
And says that the blowback from that was a surge of negative energy that showered on him for even making the suggestion. That's all she said. I don't know what happened, but
The spirits are like, hell,
are you joking?
no?
Yeah.
Get out of here. What is wrong with you?
For real.
This isn't a funny fun time.
Exactly. So Andrea had already told him previously that not only is that a hard no, but no one would participate in that. She has even called out quite a few of the paranormal investigative community for going into the house and mockery of
I love
family.
that. I love that. Like, not that they're making a mockery. I love that they're making a mockery.
I know. You love that she's calling them out.
I love that she's calling them.
And she said she's not going to call them by names, but they know who they are.
Do we?
Oh, I think we do.
I think we do.
Also, during this Halloween live stream, even after they suggested recreating the seance scene and them saying no and having that surge of negative energy, they asked Andrea if she could describe it. She said that she did, but then she lost it on them and said, you don't get to do this. You don't get to behave this way. You don't get to falsify manifestations. You don't get to pretend you're possessed. You don't get to exploit my family, especially my mother's pain, and woe be unto you if you do.
If that is not some witch talk right there, woe be unto you.
And that was directed to all of the paranormal community.
Also, I'm just going to stop for a second and I just kind of giggle because, like, the possession, all that, I'm like, is this sad?
I was literally just going to say, I am like 98% sure that it is Ghost Adventures.
Because it totally sounds like sometimes what happened.
Do you remember we watched that episode and that's what happened? They acted like they got possessed.
Oh, that's right. They did. He always gets possessed.
He does.
I think eventually he actually did, but like I think later on he did actually get possessed. But
well, probably.
But he used to always, yep. Messing with that's a little bit crazy, but I just love the woe be unto you. Ah, it's so cool. You gotta say that to people. They'll be like, if someone pisses me off, be like, woe be unto you.
That'll like send on someone's.
They'll be like, what does that mean?
Dude, if someone said that to me, I'd be like, oh,
I'm hexed.
I fucked up.
I'm hexed. I gotta fix this.
But I really love that she said that. Like, she called out a lot of the paranormal investigators because they are some of these people are so freaking dramatic. It's insane.
They're
so insane.
And they do make a mockery. They 100% make a mockery of everything.
They really do. And I feel like this is proof that she's not, like, making this up. You know, like, her saying that, like, she clearly cares a lot. Like, because if she was just wanting clout, which we know is not the case, but, like, if she was, you would think she would be playing it out. Yeah, what I mean?
Give me a movie. Oh. Give me a movie deal.
Yes, exactly.
You know, yeah.
Also, this is just a random fact about her that I love because it's just funny. But she said about once a decade, she gets really mad. And that was the one time she got really mad. One time a decade. I was like, I feel like that's me. Like, I don't
wish that was me.
I don't.
I wish I could get mad only once
a decade.
That would be so
but when she does, it's like,
woe be unto you.
Oh, and then this, I love this. She also said, I expect you to oh my God, I totally messed it up. I expect you to comport yourselves as adults and take this seriously and be compassionate and passionate about working in this field, who find it an enigma to fake evidence, who are in it for all the right reasons, and if you're not, it will come back to haunt you. I so agree.
She means
business.
She has a connection that she doesn't completely tell us about. She has a connection.
100%.
She talks to spirit.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I also like that she said she doesn't oh my God. She doesn't feel the need to investigate. She understands the draw to it, but to her, it feels like a waste of time because she knows it's real. And I love that.
I love that.
And again,
Why explain yourself?
Exactly. And I think that really, again, like just, explains her connection. She very clearly has. Very clearly. So you know how there was some controversy with the parents lying about their experiences?
Yes.
Well, here's what's interesting. The parents' story has never changed, ever, not once. And the family who bought the home after them desperately wanted a haunted house. And they remained friendly with the family for a while. In fact, here's a side story. One of the sisters, Nancy, didn't want to leave the house so bad that she ended up staying with the family who bought it and offering to help them out in turn for a room there. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. And when the parents were leaving and they pulled out of the driveway, Nancy was out front waving goodbye to them, and Andrea told her mom, "Look in the window behind Nancy. There's a woman, a spirit, and one of their other daughters, Cindy, had been to the new house they were moving into a few days earlier, and they were just like getting things set up at the new house that they were driving to. And when they pulled up, they saw Cindy out front on the porch, and the same woman's spirit was behind Cindy."
Well, like they said, the farm didn't leave them.
Yep. The mom cried, "Oh my God, this will never be over."
I feel bad for the mom.
Oh my God.
She went through it.
You went through it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So that's the little side story, just to kind of prove how much the connection they had to that house, that even Nancy stayed with that family who took it over.
That's interesting. And that tells you that they had not 100% bad experience.
Right.
I mean, for Nancy to be like, I don't want to leave.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's very interesting.
So once the movie had come out and the house had gotten a tremendous amount of people and press, the family who owned it did a complete 180 and said the parents were lying and made up everything. So the parents and the family who bought the house understandably had a falling out.
Yeah.
And Andrea actually lost contact with the house for 6 years.
Wow.
It was devastating to her.
That's interesting.
I know.
Like, they just don't want to they want that contact.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone associated with the movie read Andrea's book, and James Wan, who's the director of the Conjuring movie, said after reading the books, "Not only will I never step foot in that house, but I will never even step foot in Rhode Island."
What?
Yes. He claims the books were too much and way worse than what was in the movie.
Wait a second. My friend moved to Rhode Island.
Did she?
I should ask her if she'll go there.
You should.
I should. She just moved there. Oh my God. Her house is the cutest thing ever. She has one of those big old houses, but they're made into apartments. Cutest thing ever. And she has all these little coffee shops around her. It literally is so cute.
You have to, because it's small.
It's
small. Probably not even far.
Oh my God. I'm going to ask her.
Yeah. The movie was actually based on the case files of what the Warrens had documented.
Yeah.
We can talk a little bit about the Warrens later.
They're not great.
So Andrea believes the Warrens have a gift, but we're in over their heads with this, which later the Warrens
Lorraine had a gift.
Admitted. I fully believe.
I don't think Ed had a gift at all. I think Lorraine, yeah. Or the other thing that people keep calling, which I'm not going to repeat because I don't have any facts, but Lorraine, I think, did have a gift, but was very misled.
Yeah.
I
agree.
I think Ed misled her when I started reading it.
Yeah, I feel that way.
Yeah.
After everything had happened, Carolyn, the mother, didn't want anything to do with the Warrens. She claimed that they did nothing to help and even kept one of their journals that documented what was happening in the house.
I don't believe her.
Yeah. So that is crazy to me. The mom was documenting things in her journal and the Warrens kept it. And they wanted to keep it because she, how they collected all of their things. She claims she kept it to keep them safe. But I think we all kind of know why she may want to have kept it in her little museum.
Yeah. Yep.
The mother believes they didn't return it even after asking.
Wow.
Because of their museum. So the mother also forbid them for coming out publicly with anything about them, but when the Warrens were in talks with producers for a movie, Lorraine called and offered them a life-changing amount of money to be able to do the movie, and at first it was a hard no, but after talking it over with her husband, they decided to allow this.
I don't blame them.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. Like, yes, people are gonna, who cares what a movie comes out, right? Like, if I'm gonna give an extreme, like, I must be like, whatever. It's not like, my story's ever actually gonna be like understood.
Yeah.
Oh, so I would just be like, yeah, fine.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're gonna have these people that don't believe it. So like, not only you already had all this trauma that you went through, but now trying to like say what happened, and then people be like, oh, that's fake. Oh my God, this is a lie. Like, why would you want to
have life-changing money? Yeah, I'm glad.
The mom just flat out was like, no, like didn't want anything to do with it. And then she was like, I guess I should talk to my husband. And the husband was like, oh, this is like a life-changing.
That would be Liz. Liz would be like, what? You tell them yes.
Like, call them back.
I don't care what experience you actually had. You tell them. I'll be like, yeah, you're right.
We could do with that money.
Yeah.
So the movie basically recreated a whole third story. They cherry-picked actual events from the book with the case files of the Warrens. James Wan has said that if he were to recreate what actually happened, no one would watch it because it would be too scary and people wouldn't be able to watch it. I know.
What?
I know.
Like, that's insane.
I know.
This guy's a horror movie maker.
Well, yeah.
What's it called?
James Wan.
But,
horror?
Horror movie. Yeah, horror movie. Sorry.
Horror genre?
Horror genre. Thank you.
And I just feel like I say horror.
Horror.
A horror?
A horror movie. He makes horror movies. But no, but really, like, for him to say that, I have to say, I'm not a big scary movie, but like, you had me watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
It's good.
It's good for a horror movie. It's good.
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
Yeah.
But, like,
the movie's scary itself.
But yeah, for the fact that you say it's really scary.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't want to know, honestly.
Good. Thank you.
So I have some of the real events that I'll talk about that were in the movie that actually did happen. So April having a ghost friend who, when they talked to her, referenced to him by the name of Oliver Richards, who was someone who actually lived in the house in the past.
Cool.
Another side story here. When the Warrens were at the house trying to help, they had everyone tell them everything that happened. And they all of them said what happened to them except April, because she was scared that they were going to take her friend away from them. So she didn't want to tell them about her friend. Yeah.
She had a nice friend. Oliver Richards.
Yes. Richards. I think in the movie his name was Rory.
Oh, the one that saves her.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah. Aww.
Oh, I got chills. God, I love that movie. So good. So the beds being picked up and slammed were real.
Crazy.
Yep. The part where one of the sisters heard a bunch of voices saying, "There's 7 dead soldiers in the walls."
There's actually been other accounts of that.
Yes.
So people have actually...
And it makes sense.
It does make
look
sense.
at the history of
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I have that in my notes later on. And then the seance was real somewhat. In the movie, it makes it out to be that Carolyn was possessed. Andrea claims she was never possessed, but she was picked up and dropped and beat up badly from the spirit. And she believes that if the spirit wanted to kill her that night, he would have.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
But that by that man one?
Yeah.
Doesn't like...
Yes. But she believes he wanted to make a point to the Warrens more than anything.
By hurting
her. By showing what he could do.
I mean, he could have just hurt the Warrens. I mean...
No, I guess not.
Kind of not picking right there, dude.
I know. Also, Ed never conducted an exorcism because he wasn't a priest.
No.
It was strictly a seance that night, not an exorcism.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in the movie, the main antagonist was Bathsheba. Andrea claims that's not who she believes the negative spirit actually is. She said Bathsheba was a real person, but never actually lived on the property. So she lived on a farm about a mile from the house, but had been to the house, and a child did die in her care, but she was never found guilty of it. Did you have anything on Bathsheba that you wanted to talk about, or are you okay with me going into some of this?
You can go. I was just going to say that that's one of the spirits that has been extremely researched. One that's always in controversy. And when I started doing my research, it's like Bathsheba came up so often.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because some people are like this and that, but you can continue on and maybe I'll call them. Yeah.
Or poke in. What is that?
Poke in.
Just poke in.
Poke in.
Just to back it up with a little, after the seance that night and the Warrens left, they didn't actually know if Carolyn was dead or alive.
That's nice.
Right? So they checked back in with her a few months later, and that's where the mom asked if they had her notebook, her journal that she had written, and they didn't. And she was just so disgusted with them that she said, "We're all done here," and closed the door. But from what it sounds like happened is the husband kicked them out, like during all of this going on, obviously.
I'm sure.
And so that's why, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Warrens, but they were kicked out. It wasn't that they just were, "Oh, we're out," so they were kicked out. It wasn't them just being, like, "Oh, we're in over our heads. We're going to dip out now." they
Woo! Yeah. She's floating. I gotta go.
This is my cue to leave.
She's getting slammed around. I'm gonna leave now. Oh, my bad.
So there was an oak door that was propped up against the wall in the cellar of the new house that the parents moved into. The mom was...
Wait, in their new house?
The new house. There was an oak door that was propped up against the cellar. She was down there doing laundry one day. And she claims, I believe it's the same spirit, the woman spirit that would see the father, did not like the mother.
Because she must have liked the father.
Yes.
Because she was the lady of the household.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So she actually had the oak door fall on her. And it dislocated her shoulder and gave her a concussion.
That poor woman.
I feel so bad for her. I know.
Can you imagine, though?
No.
Think of a woman's wrath.
No.
And now you have a spirit woman's wrath?
Oh.
Because maybe in her world, she thinks she's just tending to her house, and here's this woman
that's taking her place.
On her place, like taking over her household, like that, she's like, "No, you're out of here."
Yeah. Oh, I can totally see it.
Interesting.
Yep.
But also, wow, poor lady.
I know. So Andrea was working with someone currently to make a movie on what actually happened. And she said, instead of naming it The Conjuring based on a true story, on the poster, you're going to see The House of Darkness, House of Light. That's the name.
I love that.
House of Darkness, House of Light. Bringing the truth to light. Isn't that so awesome?
I just think The Conjuring House does not fit when I was doing my research.
No, not at all. It makes it way scarier, which it was. It does sound like some scary shit took place.
I mean, I think you got a spirit that they're not held to the bounds of what we have as emotions, and they can do whatever they want to do.
I also feel like The Conjuring kind of brings about a different... I feel like it's not a good name because you would think you're conjuring something up, purposely.
Yeah.
And that's not what happened.
Although I will say the Warrens did.
Well, they did, yeah.
Yeah, but they did.
But they came in assistance from them because things had already been happening. To me, The Conjuring sounds like, oh, we're going to conjure up some spirit.
Also, I don't know who this negative man is, but, what if he was just the man of the house? They absolutely beat their wife back then. They absolutely.
Oh, yes. I didn't even think.
Yeah.
God, so she's getting it from the man.
Yeah. I mean, they absolutely were abusive. Not everyone, but they definitely had a lot more.
It was much more accepted.
Oh, yeah.
It was very accepted. A story that didn't make it into the books for Cindy's privacy. She was about 14 when she was taking a bath, washing her hair. And an incredible force pushed her down onto her chest, face first, into the water. She fought and fought to get up. April, who was minding her own business, not hearing anything that was going on, had this gut feeling that something was going on, and she burst into the bathroom and she bursted the bubble of whatever force had Cindy. Cindy had thought that she was just going to die. Like, she just accepted at that point because she's being forced under the water. Like, but April opening the door stopped whatever spirit was doing that, and Cindy came flying up out of the water gasping for air.
That is one of my biggest fears.
God, I can't even imagine.
One of my biggest fears.
Literally.
That I'll be held underwater by something I can't see.
Dude. Nope. No way. Scottish spirits in the house that Carolyn had encountered with Andrea heard her voice. Not sure if she was actually Scottish, she said, but she had kind of a brogue. She's the one who said the incantation to Carolyn. She was quoted to tell her, "'Twas mistress once, afore ye came, and mistress here, she be a nun." That means, I'm going to read it again. "'Twas mistress once, afore ye came, and mistress here will be a nun."
Oh, I get it.
Okay, what is
this? She's saying, I was mistress here before any of you came, and mistress here now, none. Like, you guys are not going to be the mistress of this house.
Oh,
I'm Scottish. No, I'm just kidding.
I can decode.
I can decode. No, I was kidding. No, I read a lot of old literature.
And then Andrea goes on to say she basically threatened her to get out. So this is the woman, more than likely, that's like beating.
Doesn't want the women.
Yeah.
No, but it's so unfair because she's following the man.
I know.
And she's like, I don't like my husband.
Right.
He's my husband now. And I'm going to kill all him.
I have to continue to be a mistress.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, she's 100% saying, I was mistress here once before.
You're not going to be.
Yeah.
I am the mistress.
I'm the mistress of this house.
Andrea is unsure of who she was, but she is actually working diligently now to figure out who exactly she was. And she'll find her. She'll find her. Andrea recalls when they first moved to Harrisville that she had a sense of remembrance so strong that she asked her parents if they'd ever been to the house before, or been to that city before, town, whatever it is. And they said no. Yet she knew where everything was.
Andrea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Previous life.
Yep.
Okay. It makes more sense.
Yep. She knew where the theater was, the town hall, the mansion on the top of the hill, and she just felt like she belonged there. Yeah.
So interesting.
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
So interesting.
Yeah.
So previous life.
Isn't that crazy?
She was connected there somehow.
Oh, yeah.
She just hasn't tapped in to see what it was, or that's why she's probably felt so comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because these girls are having pretty scary instances happen.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But yeah, it seems like it's like so half and half because that one lady didn't want to leave.
Right.
You know? Other ladies are getting pushed underwater.
Mm-hmm.
This lady's like, yo, I'm the mistress.
Right.
Yeah, you guys aren't. Like, no, kind of thing. I wonder if it was better when they were children.
Probably.
And then as they started growing, she was like, no.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, because they're a threat.
Because she focused on that mom first. Like,
I would be interested too, like, and I'm sure there was a male spirit there, but I wonder if it wasn't just the male spirit being harmful to the women.
Oh, I don't think it was. It sounds like this woman is very much like my place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possessive of it.
Yeah.
So that is what I have on the Conjuring House.
So good. I wanted to just quickly go back to Bathsheba really fast.
Yes.
So Bathsheba, a lot of people said was considered extremely godly.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they did research on her, she was a very godly, like upstanding woman.
Yeah.
And she did live not in that house.
Mm-hmm.
And a child did die in her care. The child died. It had a knitting needle. I think it went through its eye.
Oh my God.
Which, I mean, I can see that well, here's the deal. Like one time when Araya was like 9, I think, she turned to step down and she stepped on a crochet hook and it went into her.
Oh God.
And she wasn't like stomping through. She literally just turned and then she turns back and she's like, Mom, and she has it like literally all the way.
Oh.
So it's like I could see if she had knitting needles like stuck in the yarn on the ground, if a child's toddling, clunk, falling over.
God.
But because of that, so that's why she wasn't
Found guilty.
Now, this wasn't her child. This was a child she was watching, but she wasn't found guilty for that.
Okay.
Again, it's something that because I've had it happen with a crochet, I can see, and I know that we always stick our needles in our yarn, or we stick them. I usually stick them down.
Yeah.
I mean, they very well could have been just sticking up. And again, if this child or whatever it was, this toddling, boom, falls down, it could definitely happen. So the reason she was pulled in the house is just because of what you call, tales, right? Because this happened in history and just has gone down to where the name Bathsheba, they said, really plays a part into it. That's biblical in itself.
Yep.
And so they just created this whole thing where she's like supposed to be some voodoo thing or whatever. And it's just not true. None of that's true.
They always turn her into a witch.
Yep. A witch or a voodoo lady. Yep. And it's just none of that's true. She was just a lady. And and they did have some deaths on that property.
Yes.
They absolutely did. The soldiers, they had, all those things go on there.
Right.
But her being the spirit, no, that makes no sense because she definitely wasn't the mistress of the house.
Right.
She was never the mistress of the house. She had nothing to do with that house.
Yep.
So I just thought that was interesting.
I remember Randria. Oh my God. Randria had, she actually sticks up for Bathsheba a lot. The time when she talks about her, how she's, she's not this evil witch at all. It's just a woman who was actually, I'm pretty sure she said in her research of her is she was kind of had a very sad life.
She did.
So,
but she was also considered she considered herself a very godly woman, as you were in that time, and was not a troublemaker or any of those things but I think just taking that name, they kind of grabbed onto that, and she was on the property, but not in the house. So
that is a crazy name.
It is. Bathsheba is. But I mean, I guess not that it's closer to biblical time.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
They definitely love the Bible and to pick names out of the Bible. So
is that a name from the Bible?
It is.
I didn't know that.
It is. Bathsheba is a name from the Bible. Yeah.
Interesting. Was it a bad name in the Bible?
Yeah, I think she was a queen. Queen Bathsheba, or maybe I'm wrong about that. I can't believe that one. I'm not 100%. I know she's in the Bible. Maybe she was a whore Babylon or
a whore Babylon.
Yeah.
I when I hear that name, I think of something evil. It just sounds.
It does. Well, doesn't it? It really does. And I think that's why people were like, "Oh my God, that's so scary, Bathsheba."
It's a pretty insane name.
It is.
But I don't know. And that makes it even more interesting that
why am I so stupid? I'm so stupid. Bathsheba, I know who she was. So King David, she was married. This is such an interesting thing. So Bathsheba was married to a soldier under King David from the Bible.
Okay.
So Bathsheba they had baths on top of their roofs. I don't know. She would bathe up there.
Oh.
And King David would watch her. And he started lusting after her. And this man is supposed to be a man after God's own heart, okay? So he's watching her, and he wants Bathsheba, but she's married. So he sends her husband, who's in the military, and puts him at the front lines so he could be killed.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm not kidding. And this is a man after God's own heart. So he can be killed. So he is killed. And he marries Bathsheba, but because God's angry with him, that when they have their first child, the child dies. And so King David knows it's because of him, because of what he did, and he tries to repent to God, and then God's like, "You're a guy after my own heart. You're saying you're sorry. It's all good."
Yeah.
But that's who Bathsheba is.
God, that's interesting that her name's Bathsheba and she was taking baths.
Bathing. She was bathing on top of the roof. I feel like she was out there tempting him.
Oh. See, take a bath. I'm Bathsheba. Take a bath.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's the story of her. I was like, I knew she was a queen.
Yeah.
Because
I've heard of something of Sheba. What is that? Something of Sheba. Oh my God, what is that? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up in my head. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know anything about. I did not grow up religious, unlike you. So I I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So King David's daughter was raped, and not because of her own volition. And then she was held blamed for it by David. She was considered dirty. Her name was Delilah.
Of course.
Dana. Her name was Dana. Sorry. My names get a little rusty, but the stories I have down. Yeah. I know, it's crazy.
It's wild. It's so wild to me. But anyway,
Okay.
that is The Conjuring. I want to go to the house at some point, and I want your friend to go.
Yes, we should, because when I started and what I wanted to do really quickly, and I don't have a lot because I know you had a lot of the Perrons, and I just really love Andrea. Like, I research with her. I just think, and you're right, like their story has never wavered. None of them, all of them.
Yeah.
That's 5.
Yes.
Never wavered.
Yeah.
And so absolutely what happened to them in the house is what has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely want to get her books because like,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a part 2.
I wanted to talk about a couple of people who have written about their more recent experiences.
Okay.
And now I want to tell you, I went on this hunt for experiences, and everyone tends to have some type of experience in that house. I will say they have kind of turned it into, now, I went to Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
There's just like a certain way that you ghost hunt now. They have like cat balls that, that they can manipulate, spirit boxes, there's just certain ways. So it has kind of that same feel. But I really want to talk about Madison Heisen.
Okay.
She's on TikTok. She has TikToks of her working in the house. And there is literally things that happen on camera.
Oh my God.
When she's working, like the doll moving. Like literally doll moves and then falls over. Like things happening all the time. So I wanted to talk about some of the current happenings for her. So Madison Heisen, the daughter of the home's former owners who works at the property leading tours and selling merchandise. And so basically her family, actually I'll get to that here one second. But she has like 1.1 million likes. She's on, like I said, she's on TikTok. The biggest one is when the Raggedy Ann doll, she's just sweeping. She's not even near it. And it just like moves and then falls over. But it's not like that one, I very much believe, because it didn't have that same, like, how when people try to fake it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so, and that was actually from camera feed that she got that. And then on her TikTok. So it was interesting.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't her filming it.
No.
It was from, okay.
Yeah. But why she was in the room. Yeah. So Madison's parents, they were paranormal investigators, Jen and Corey Heinzen, and they bought the home in 2019.
Yeah.
So, and also, so they've had their own paranormal encounters in that house. And while they spent months in the house, they only stayed in one room downstairs, all of them. And this is the same room that she will stay in because they wanted to keep respect for the otherworldly presence inside.
Love that.
They noticed an all black apparition peeking at them from that certain room's doorway. So what the room they're staying in, like an all black apparition would peek around like, what do you guys think we're doing? They additionally heard footsteps and knocks and have seen lights flashing. And then in a previous TikTok, Madison described seeing a ghost there as well. I was eating dinner by myself and I saw someone run by me. She said, I caught it by the left corner of my eye and all I saw was a veil and a skirt and it just vanished into thin air. That this had all happened in a span of 3 seconds. And I just sat there in complete disbelief, not knowing what to do. So I just thought her instances were interesting. And I also wanted to put that in there because I just thought it was interesting that here are these paranormal investigators that get this house and they never move into any other part of the house, just the one room because they gave respect.
Love it.
And there's that respect again. Right. They're giving respect. They're not taunting. They're not asking not saying that the woman's spirit, she sounds like she's a little bit feisty, but, they're not doing those things. It's already getting a little better, but it was like.
I will say his newer seasons, you can tell he's learning.
I think maybe because he got possessed and he's like, I don't want that. But again. So another thing is, now they give tours and everything. So a person went there and they wrote an article on it and they wrote it. Her name's Megan. And it was November 8th, 2023. So Megan wrote her experiences in an article. And here is a few of what happened to her. Disembodied voices. So, and this is something I've heard and I've seen A lot of people talk about disembodied voices, just talking. Men, especially. Before the tour began, everyone was standing together in a room on the main floor. As the tour guide, Marie, started talking, this writer heard what sounded like someone moving around in one of the other rooms. These bumps were more than just creaks from an old house. When Marie was asked if another staff member was in the home, she stated that she was the only one there. Throughout our visit, we never saw another staff member anywhere on the property. So they kept hearing creaking and bumping and stuff like that. Also interesting that typically they only have one staff member. And then you can book to stay the night.
Yeah.
Or you can stay on the grounds. But they don't have a lot of staff. Like, it's usually just one person caring for the house.
Okay.
So, and it really is checking inventory, cleaning the house. And they stay, like I said, the one girl still stays there. Madison, she still stays there one night a week.
Yep.
In that same downstairs room that they all stay in. She witnessed moving objects. Upon entering the dining area, we saw bundles of dried herbs dangling from the ceiling. All of them were still except for one, which was mysteriously swinging on its own. We looked around and observed that there wasn't a breeze, as none of the other bundles were moving. Later on, two of us went to one of the children's bedrooms and saw a blue beaded necklace hanging from a doorknob. It was swinging in the same manner. That one gave me chills because, like, the fact that none of the other bundles were moving except this one, and then that necklace swam in the exact same manner. Strange light anomalies. In the home's basement, we saw what appeared to be a small white ball of light appear on the metal chair. This could have been a phone reflection, but as a friend pointed out, those tend to move quickly and sporadically, whereas this light anomaly traveled slowly and lingered right there for several seconds. Even Marie seemed surprised, the tour guide. So went to the chair and just took a seat. It's like, I'm going to sit down, Things turning on by themselves happen all the time. Marie showed us a cat toy that lit up when you push the button. A lot of us know about the cat toy. While trying to communicate with the home spirits, the toy, which had been turned off and placed on a table, randomly lit up on its own. Nobody was anywhere near it. So they were done. Add to that. They were done. They were trying to get it wouldn't work. Yep. Marie turned it off, which is crazy to me. And then they were going to move on. And they were talking, and then literally it lit up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Last but not least, talking to ghosts with the help of ghost hunting equipment, such as an EMF detector, radio, a spirit box, devices that make noise when it detects changes in the surround energy. We all tried to make contact with whatever spirits were present, although we didn't always get responses. The one we did receive were fascinating. When the spirit box was first turned on, we heard multiple highs or hellos in there. The activity surrounding the REM pod was particularly interesting. Most of the time when we encourage the spirits to respond by triggering the device, the REM pod would not go off. The REM pod would go off. Not only that, but when we then asked them to make the device stop beeping, it would almost always stop. At one point, the writer said, "Are there any female spirits here? Could you please turn on the REM pod?" Nothing. No response. Okay, follow-up question. If there are any male spirits here, could you please turn on the REM pod? Right on cue, it flips on. All right, thank you. Could you please shut it off? Off it goes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not normally fast.
No, it usually takes
a little bit.
Tells me it's strong.
Yeah.
Just on, off, boom, boom. So I just thought it was interesting that some kind of new encounters, and there's actually quite a bit of people that have left reviews. I want to go visit this place.
Yes.
I feel like, and I said it in our previous one, I think there's something very ancient there. So I do think there's going to be some spirits of like the mistress, but I think there's also something very ancient there.
Absolutely.
That inhabits that land. And I feel
always
always will.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to go there, and I just want to see what we get.
Yes, absolutely.
From that communication.
I find it interesting too, the difference in people's experience.
Absolutely.
Where you can tell, and Andrea is one of them, when you have respect, it seems to be a pretty good experience. but then the people who you can tell probably don't really believe, or maybe they're
Making fun of it. Yeah.
making a mockery of it, they're not too thrilled. And I also don't think they're like huge on like filming either. Like, I don't think that they, like, I feel like they want you to go there for an experience and not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, what if this mistress lady, I mean, she's probably stuck in her era. That's probably really bizarre to her.
What the hell is
What witchcraft are you putting into my home? You know? What nonsense is this? So I think it's really, really interesting. I really got it. I'm going to read the books because I really got into, and I felt, at first, whenever I heard The Conjuring, I was like, oh my God, no. Then I watched the movie, but then really listening about, Andrea and the family and all of that stuff, like, I almost feel like a pull towards there. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, I think it's again, and I think that's how I want to leave it with what the website says. So our energy, attitudes, and beliefs are amplified here. Whether our end goal seeks frightful or peaceful experience, the impact can be transformative. So really, it's about what energy are you coming in there with.
Is what you're going to get at.
Absolutely.
I so agree with that.
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
Interesting story. I would love to see what experiences I have there in person.
Yep.
I would love to see what happens. Might as well just make a trip and then go there and go to the Lizzie Borden house and ghost hunt that fucker too. That's a whole different experience. I've been there. That's negative.
Yeah.
Very negative.
Now, would you say our therapies seen?
No. I think it's something very ancient there as well and very negative. So not a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get the feeling that the Conjuring House, whatever's ancient there, I just think it is.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It just is. It's not negative. It's not good.
Yeah.
Is.
Yeah.
But so I think that's almost why whatever your energy you're bringing there can kind of
that makes sense.
Transform that.
Yeah.
The Bordens, I think everyone that's on that property, which we'll get into some other time, was influenced. And I think there's a very ancient negative energy that has influenced whoever's on that property.
Yeah.
I very much felt it. And this was before I tapped in.
Yeah.
And it was insane. So definitely would like to go back there now that I have like more of an understanding. So, yeah. It's right next to each other.
Yeah.
So literally we could go to Lizzie Borden and then the Conjuring House is probably like 30 minutes away. Yeah. It's so crazy how close New England is. It's insane.
It's crazy. We're in Florida, so everything is a pain in the ass to get to.
My friend lives in a town in Massachusetts, and my other friend now lives in Rhode Island, 20 minutes away from each other.
They're closer than we are.
Yeah.
They're in a different state, and they're closer than we are.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's just insane. Because oh God, I got a Charlie horse in my ankle. What the hell? That was not fun. My mom is from Massachusetts, and she was talking about how like it's so small you can just like drive.
It's true.
Such a short period of time. Because I'm like, it's like what, 12 something hours from Timbo.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's so far. Like, you got to think, from here to Destin is 7 hours, and then from here to Key West is about 6 hours.
Yeah.
So you're looking about 13 hours.
Wild. That is just wild.
But yeah, Massachusetts was so easy to get through. Like, we were at my friend's house in New Bedford, and then we were at Lizzie Borden's house in like 15, 20 minutes. And then we were in Boston within 30 minutes, like from New Bedford. This is all from New Bedford. And then when we were in Boston, Salem's only like 20 minutes out.
So cool.
It's so cool.
Really? And that explains why, little backstory, I did real estate. Still does it. But that explains why so many people, when they come from up north, they come here and they're like, oh, they're thinking they can see like all of Florida in a day. And I'm like, oh, ma'am. That's like you need a week trip.
Yeah, that's not possible.
It's
not possible.
so crazy to me.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it's like living in a place that's so tiny. Like, everything is just like, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I agree. It was crazy to me. I'm like, what?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're from California.
And it cracks me up because they're like, yeah.
Same as Florida.
That's all.
Or honestly.
I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think I think it's about the same. I really do. But yeah, when we went there and they're like, oh, it's kind of far. It's 20 minutes. I'm like, it's fine. Like 20 minutes. Like, it's funny because people in Massachusetts are like, they don't want to drive. That's it. That's what I say. You guys don't even know what we have to do.
This is so short.
Yeah, I even think for Orlando, I'm like, it's only an hour. It's not minutes away.
Yeah. Well, you got to think, because to them, that's like states away.
Yeah. It's so crazy. I think it took us, oh gosh, from where we were in Salem to get to, where did we go? New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took us an hour and a half
That's
to get to our Airbnb in New Hampshire.
That's so short. And it's a whole other.
And New Hampshire was not where it was at for me, but I know everyone up east loves it, so please don't come at me.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me.
I've never been up north. Well, I've been to Canada, but I don't consider, like, as far as, well, I've been to New York, so I love New York.
I know you do.
I liked upstate New York.
I love the city.
I don't like the city at all. I'm just not a city person, period.
I am.
I think I figured it out, because I do think I have very sensitive hearing. And I think it's I don't like the sounds. Like, the sounds of a city give me the worst anxiety I've ever. I can't focus.
You know, it actually calms me down. I feel safe.
I feel like I'm in fight or flight.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That it makes me feel safe. But here's what's interesting. When I lived in California, I always had traffic going by my window. So I always went to sleep.
It's like
by
nostalgic for you.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really like, you know. Yeah.
Like, I can't deal with it. Like, the loud sounds, the beeping,
I love
the
it.
clinking of, like, there's always those metal runways, like, over, like, sidewalks in New York.
I love it.
Hate it.
I love the clinking. I love the sirens being at my hotel. I do. I love it all. The honking and the like, it's the best.
But that's what a lot of people say. Like, the people who are used to that is calming to them.
It is. I sleep so good in New York.
Oh,
I could pop a window open and just be out.
that's great.
I sleep so good. But Liz is like you. She doesn't do the noise. Well, she loves the city, but she doesn't. Noise is anxiety for her.
It's so much anxiety. I think that's really my problem. Like, I can't, I can't explain it, but it's like I can't focus on what's happening because I'm so, like, in my head, I'm panicking so much. I'm just
That is so cute.
I can't.
That's just so bizarre to me because literally it's calming and I can sleep to it.
Oh.
So that is just so funny.
Nope. Give me like
I feel like everyone, like, I don't feel alone, I guess is the best way. Or like, you know, if I'm like, I can have everything dark because I feel like everything's alive right outside my window.
I get that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you feel safe. You feel like nothing's gonna get you. Like,
Not although people could get me, but I just like,
see, I'm the opposite. I'm like, give me.
oh God, that was us with our New Hampshire Airbnb, and me and Liz were so scared.
Are you serious?
It was dense trees. The house was big, had this really pretty balcony, and we were with our friends, but I was just like, there's no one out here. It was so dark. I was so
I love that.
So,
oh my God.
I was like, there's things in these woods.
It is so crazy.
It was so quiet. I love it. It drove me insane.
I can't sleep to this. I need like a fan or like a constant sound, but like.
I was outside though, and guess what? I felt complete anxiety.
Really?
Yeah. And it was dark, and I was like, and my friends were outside with me on there, but I was so anxious. Yeah.
I feel so at peace. Like, so just like, oh.
No.
It's so calming. That is so crazy. Because like, to me, like, what I've been wanting to do for so long is like get one of those like cabins, like in the middle of nowhere woods, like in Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
And the ones that have those huge balconies with the hot tub that overlooks the forest.
In theory, that sounds amazing to me, but I don't know.
When you get there, it's
But I'll have anxiety like you would have in New York City. I would have anxiety.
see, like, but I feel like my anxiety doesn't make as much sense because I feel like what you're saying, you feel safe because it's alive, like there's people. That makes sense. But I feel safe in the woods.
So like, I'm in the woods. I'm alone. No one will know when I'm killed.
Why do I feel safe there?
No one will have any idea that I got killed by a mass murderer.
Seriously.
Because let me tell you, the creepiest murders are the ones that live in the woods.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. But for whatever reason, I'm like, safe.
Yeah. And I'm like, over here like, huh? What's happened? What's going on? Is that a bear or a killer? All right. Well, I want to eat my soup now.
I agree. Well, we hope you enjoyed this.
Yes.
And I don't think we have our next one planned, so I can't tell you what that's going to be yet.
Should we keep redoing ones or add a new one in?
I like redoing.
I think it's great. I was thinking about maybe either pulling out the
Lizzie Borden.
yes or the Bell Witch.
Bell Witch.
That's both are so. Oh, maybe Lizzie Borden because it's in that same type of area.
Yeah,
Like
about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'll find out exactly how long.
Okay.
And when we do it, when I redo it, and add that in, I'll put that in. It's exactly how long it is.
I love it.
And then I could also touch on more about my experience there because I actually had in-person experiences that I can help. So yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So Lizzie Borden next.
Cool.
And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody.